going to record a longer video than my 15-second YouTube shorts on the beta channel, or even the 60-second shorts on the beta channel. So I'm using Zencastr's iOS app to record this, and I'm just going to note some of the observations I've had with Zencastr so far. I was originally put on to Riverside.fm, and I recently came back to it for the purpose of doing solo videos, and I think it still works pretty good for that. Um, because you can record into Riverside and have everything get uploaded to their cloud and still retain up to 720p resolution, as opposed to recording a bunch of videos on your phone and then having to wait for your phone to upload all of the videos to your social media scheduler or to your cloud storage provider. I like how with Riverside it's kind of all in there, and then you can use some of their AI driven tools to help edit the longer video, get some what they call magic clips, some of the shorter videos out of it. That being said, though, when I did a two-person interview, Riverside didn't seem to deliver. I'll probably still test it out at least one more time. But what happened was, and this is what happened in the past with Riverside, is, and I'll get into the Zencastr part shortly. I would be recording on Riverside, but the connection with the other speaker would get lost. Even though it's recording locally on my device and locally on their device, the recording's fine after all's said and done. But in the actual moment, what happens is, oh, I can't hear you. You pause there. And you see, even though it's crisp footage, you see these moments where, oh, sorry, I can't hear you. So what we had to do was we had to do a separate phone call and have headphones in and keep that as our audio source so that even if we lost visual on each other, we would just keep talking. So why Zencastr has become relevant for me is the one episode that we did on Zencastr with the same speaker, so same Wi-Fi connections on both sides, and a lot of variables were the same. Zencastr did not drop out the way Riverside did. So I'm tempted to give Zencastr the leg up for the next time we do a recording. But of these options, there's more than three options, but these are just two options. The third option that I have personally not tried yet, but I'm more intrigued to try it now, is because Squadcast, the video recording software, was acquired by Descript. Now, Descript has become popular in the video editing space because they basically took the idea of, from what I can tell, they pioneered this idea because I didn't see anyone doing it before them, and now almost everyone includes it in their video editing software. So Descript came up with the idea of, what if video editing was like editing a Word document? The idea being, users are very used to using Microsoft Word, but not so much editing video. So what if you get a transcript? This is what Descript's idea was. Get a transcript, and every time you delete words from the transcript, it deletes that corresponding video segment from the video. So you can see how you could get a lot of the benefits of video editing without needing to really know how to video edit in an Adobe Premiere Pro or in a Filmora or in an iMovie or a Sony Vegas. List goes on and on and on. So Descript I'd gotten away from, though, because I found it was very difficult to keep video assets organized in their software. I could be the only one who experienced this. I haven't heard someone else share this, but for me, I knew it wasn't working for me. So I got away from using Descript, and that being said, though, I'm more intrigued to go back and try it again because I was already paying for Riverside anyway, but I wasn't getting the benefits that Descript has in the actual editing software. So, and also Descript has direct publish to YouTube where Riverside does not. It has direct publish to Spotify for podcasts and then also Transistor.fm. So Descript was getting appealing again. However, I've not tried it yet, but I am more intrigued to try it because they acquired Squadcast. So now, instead of paying for Squadcast and Descript, you can just pay the same Descript price and get Squadcast included. So if that works well for remote recording with two or more guests, that could be the one that really puts the tools to bed, the other tools to bed for now. But that being said, I do think as a business owner, it's more responsible for me to, even if I find a tool I really like, to always iterate in the background of, okay, if this tool didn't exist, if this tool got shut down, if this tool started glitching, what would we do as an alternative? I like the idea of doing that. I also like figuring out new tools, something I enjoy doing. But I do think at the time we're recording this video, it can keep me on my toes, keep me nimble. So if one tool breaks down, there's another tool that can step up, right? Stand up, be next in line. I just remember this. I've talked about in past videos how I really love the Google Chrome extension on desktop called Vimeo Record. It was introduced to me as a way to have asynchronous video meetings where instead of having to meet together on Zoom at a designated time, we could send video messages to each other of, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. This is, can we talk about X, Y, and Z? And then I could also do a screen share to show what's going on, and then you can answer on your own time. So that's what got me introduced to it, and ended up using it to record a lot of video content because Vimeo Record was, from what I could tell, was operating separately from Vimeo.com. So Vimeo.com is a paid software, and they actually changed their pricing plans pretty substantially from the first time I started using Vimeo to now, or at the time of recording this video. And from what I can tell, it seems like Vimeo is geared more towards enterprise level deals in the way their software works. But I was tempted to continue using Vimeo Record, and I did for a long time because I was getting free video storage through Vimeo Record because it wasn't counting towards my paid Vimeo quota. However, Vimeo integrated a lot of what the Chrome extension had in terms of capability into their own Vimeo.com. And I kid you not, every time I use their built in recorder for recording videos, it lags like crazy and it can't be fixed. So I was still using the Google Chrome extension. However, just the other day from recording this video, this is why having the extra tool in your back pocket is something I find is a responsible thing to do if I'm selling a productized service. What's the next tool that can come in and fulfill the needs that the other tool was doing before it broke or shut down or glitched? I used the Google Chrome extension for Vimeo Record, and it sent me to Vimeo.com. And I'm like, oh boy, it's gonna lag. And guess what? I recorded. It had a bunch of lag, and the video was unusable, which is actually a lot for me to say because I would argue I have kind of lower standards for what videos are usable. But this video, what would happen is I would say something, and I would do a test where it's like, okay, I'm gonna move to this side of the frame, and I could hear myself through the audio, but then I wouldn't make the move on video until 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, and then I would move. It was so off that it was disconcerting to say the least. So, all that being said, I want to get some thoughts down on paper. This is my version of getting thoughts down on paper: is recording videos. It's also a productive excuse to start documenting more of what I'm learning, when I'm learning it, how I'm learning it, and I do think at some point in the future, technology will catch up where all this footage won't necessarily need to go to a video editor. It can go into an auto tagging technology software where it does something similar to what Descript does. Is it takes a bunch of footage, it transcribes all of it, but then I think technology will catch up where there'll be one more step where it auto tags parts of the video and starts making videos on its own. You're starting to see it a little bit with artificial intelligence with video editing. A new video editing softwares popping up that are web-based that use artificial intelligence. Starting to see it. So I think all this footage I'm recording can be even more usable later when the technology catches up and allows me to actually to share it more in a more organized fashion and even a more interesting fashion as well too. So all right, catch you next one. Peace.